My name is Elizabeth Pampalone, and you're listening to the Absolute Marketing Podcast. Why Google hates you and what you can do about it. The first thing that Google hates is a site that was built for a desktop only. And they also don't like empty sites. You might have a website and it might be okay, but you also might not have very much on it. So Google loves full sites that are really comprehensive and tell exactly what you do. And they also like it when they're built what's called responsively, which means that they're not just built for desktop, they're actually built for desktop and mobile at the same time. This is really easy to achieve, and I like to use Squarespace to get there. The second thing is broken links. Google hates broken links because they can't trust them, and that means they can't trust you. They also hate bad link structure in your website. So maybe your website is kind of goofy and has a bunch of weird ways that the web pages are set up. Maybe you have things that are not named properly, like your contact page is named like Connect with Jen or something. I don't know, something like that. Or get to know us when it's really the contact page. So they don't like it when the structure is all wonky or too crazy. It's not familiar and normal. So also, again, those broken links they don't like. To use the best SEO practices, they don't like it when you're duplicating your content all over the internet, which means you wrote an amazing blog post and you sent it off to somebody for a guest post. You're on their website with that content. And then you decide you also want to put it on your own website. Or maybe you send that same article to like 5 or 10 people as a guest post. Yes, while that's easy for you, Google doesn't like it very much. And then they don't know what content is correct. Again, going back to Google not trusting you. You want to make sure that you're going to take care of that and not have the duplicate content everywhere. Google also hates unnamed photos and misused alternate tags. That's when you have a photo that doesn't show up and then the writing appears, girl in sundress, in a field or something like that. They actually don't like it when you don't name your photos. If your photo is named 1.png, they don't like that very much. So make sure you're naming your photos exactly what they are. Pop-ups and modals cover your devices when they're on mobile. So when you have a pop-up or a modular thing that pops up in your screen, on desktop it's great, but on mobile it's not. So remember, they like responsive sites, which are going to help you to get the full site on desktop and mobile in the similar experience without having to build 2 separate sites. They do punish you for using annoying pop-ups, so make sure that they're constructed correctly if you're going to use them. They also don't mind reasonable banner ads, but they don't want a ton of ads all over a site where a site is basically just ads. So be careful of that as well if you're using Google Ads or another ad source. Use a stable, responsive, lean theme. This means your website, your theme, your template, whatever system you're using needs to be lean. They don't like the bad site structure, and they don't like when things are not responsive. So again, like I said, Squarespace is great for that. It's a really cool alternative. You can get away with this in WordPress, but you have to be really careful. You also need to secure your site with SSL. Google hates unsecured sites. They actually don't serve an unsecured site in their search when a secured site is possible. So if you type in hairdressers in Jacksonville, Florida, then they're actually going to serve you the hairdressers that are secured sites, which means they have that little lock in the corner. And the great thing about the SSL certificates is that they're actually automatically a part of Squarespace. So if you don't have an SSL certificate or your site is not secured, Google actually will be docking you and penalizing you to not have that. So be aware you're checking that out and making sure you're talking with your web designer about it. Number 7, which is our last one, is use the speed best practices. They don't like outdated and slow servers. So some of these hosting companies, they don't update their stuff, and they don't like huge images. So make sure you're taking care of those things, and Google will love you even more. This has been a little bit longer of a podcast, but I wanted to get this stuff in one podcast take because I wanted you to see all the things that Google doesn't like that you're doing and how you can remedy them. Hopefully this has helped you out and we can get your site all spick and span so that Google will like you more. If you'd like to know more about Google and how you can get your site even better, you can visit us at getabsolutemarketing.com where we actually go through and do site audits. Talk to you next time. Thanks for listening to the Absolute Marketing Podcast. If you'd like to learn more, please visit getabsolutemarketing.com.